Hi ladies, I wanted to check in with you to start off the new year with you. I know this is a time when everyone wants to start fresh in their journeys to health and wellness. And I'm sure a lot of you are reckoning with just the feeling of interminability of the last couple years, just in terms of the pandemic and in terms of your fertility journey. And I wanted to ask you a few things and help you get clear and just give you a little tidbit of advice as you move forward. So what I want to ask you is, how do you want to feel this year during your journey? Like what's not working for you? You know, think about that as I ask that question, like, how do you want to feel on this journey? And what's not working for you? And then, you know, the advice I want to give you is a couple different things. So, number one piece of advice is to be consistent. Be consistent with whatever you're doing. And if it's not working, it's time to reevaluate and try something different. If what you're doing is giving you the same results, it's time for a new approach. You know, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's, you know, recommitting to, you know, figuring out what's going on with your nutrition, whether it's working with a different practitioner, whether it's like, wow, we've done 4 rounds of IVF and we're not getting anywhere. Like, it's not working. It means we have to go back to the drawing board. So I want to encourage you to like really take a look at what you're doing. Are you just doing it because you're on the conveyor belt, the fertility conveyor belt, or are you actually choosing the things that you're doing? I had a client who, she's actually pregnant now. I don't even know how far along she is now. Maybe 8 to 10 weeks. And she's never gotten this far. She had 1 or 2 miscarriages. She tried IUIs. She came to see me when she was at the end of her rope and she was about to start IVF. And everything in her body was like not wanting to do it. She was really like literally about to start, and she started to like have nausea and vomit, and it was totally related to the anxiety in her body about starting IVF. She knew it was not her truth to do. She was like, I don't want to do it. And she had a lot of trauma and grief from her losses that she had along the way, and a lot of fear about getting pregnant again. So she was like, I have to do something different because I don't want to do IVF, and that's what the next normal regular step is, but I am just so in tune with myself. That's not what I want. Anyway, we worked together for 3 months. She renewed her package with me. She wanted to do another 3 months because she said it was serving her and supporting her so much. And I absolutely loved working with her. She's an incredible woman. And as soon as she renewed her package with me, like a week and a half later, she found out she was pregnant. So, and again, she's never gotten this far in her pregnancy. And I just want to say that you don't have to do what your doctor is telling you you need to do. There are other things that you can do. So I want to just empower you to have that choice this year, that there are other ways of getting pregnant besides going through traditional Western medicine. Okay. And here's the second suggestion or like support tool that I have for you. It's to practice 2 different things, and they're the yin and the yang. So practice healthy boundary making. What are you allowing into your life? What are you allowing into your life right now? Like, who are you allowing in? What kinds of input are you allowing in? Who are you letting tell you different things about what you should be doing? Who do you allow to like dump on you emotionally? Who are you not putting boundaries up around, saying like, you know what, this relationship is toxic for me. This dynamic isn't good for me. It's sucking all my energy. I don't have anything to give. Like, you can't pour water from an empty cup, right? So pull into yourself and look at your life right now and examine like what's not working for you on the grand scheme, and start making changes. You know, one of the hardest things I ever had to do was stop talking to one of my sisters. She's a very toxic person. She's manipulative. She's a pathological liar. She's not well. It's very, very sad, but she's vicious. And I tolerated it for many years. And a few years ago, when I actually started to go on my pregnancy journey, I was, using the same tools that I teach in my programs for women. I was starting to shift what I was eating a little bit and be more conscientious about nutrition. And she totally attacked me for it and shamed me and told me it wasn't going to help me get pregnant. And at that point, I was like, you know what? This relationship is really toxic for me. And she doesn't get to just say what she wants to say about my journey. This is my life. It's not her place to have an opinion and share it with me without asking my permission, especially if it's going to be judgmental. So I've had very little contact with her over the years, but I send her so much love. I think about her all the time, but this is the way that I can best love her, is from here, truly. And it has been life-changing for me. Sadly, it was one of the very hardest things I ever had to do. And I needed a coach to help me through it because I wasn't prepared to do that on my own. So all that being said, create more boundaries that are healthy. Stop just letting the floodgates open for whoever to have an opinion or a say in your truth. And then on the flip side of that, practice more allowing. And what I mean by that is practice allowing more of the good things to come into your life. Practice allowing yourself to be in this position you're in right now. Allow yourself to be, riding this wave. There's a saying that what we resist persists. Allow yourself to feel the pain and the grief. Journal from it. That's some of the most powerful tools that we have, is journaling from our grief and our anger, actually from it. And there's ways that I work with that with women in order to clear trauma and grief so we can create a new space for something positive. But allowing yourself to just be where you are right now. Imagine if you just accepted it, not accepted it as this is your fate, but just accepted this is where I am right now. And that's okay. And I'm going to get out of this. Just thinking about those two concepts of the boundaries, also with the allowing, right? The yin and the yang. And then the final thing I want to say to you that is the most important. I said at the beginning that I had the most important one was consistency. And also reevaluating what's not working. But actually the most important thing that everything boils down to is self-love. May 2022 be the year that you devote yourself to self-love. Devote yourself to it. If you don't know what that means, then devoting yourself to finding out what that means. Because I was there once. I had no idea what that meant. I had lots of stories about myself that I was telling myself that limited myself and my path. And I didn't know how to love myself. And I started by, truly, this is how I started. One of the ways was I was like, you know what? If I choose good foods for myself and I'm kind to myself and I cook meals for myself that are healthy and nourishing, that's the first step that I can take to love myself. And I believe it was true. I believe it was a really powerful step and practice for me, because as I did that, as I literally nourished and nurtured myself with self-love through learning how to cook healthy foods and cooking them, it was transformative for me to devote myself to that. There are many different ways to devote yourself to self-love. That's one of them. So this is pretty long, but I wanted to say that I'm going to put a special tool in the group for you. It's called my Fertility Pact, and I give it to all of my clients that I work with. And it is a set of declarations that I crafted based upon what I've seen in my practice working with you ladies and what I know from my own experiences of what's important to cultivate and think about and devote yourself to while you're on this journey. So I'm going to put that in the group as a free gift, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want you to tell me which of the declarations, like which 3 really hit home for you as like triggered something in you or sparked something in you. So I'm going to send this, but I'm also going to send another video about that too, just for that especially. So please get in touch with me if you want to try something different in your journey this year. I'm here for it. That's what I'm here for. All right, take care. Lots of love.